Come on now.
She'd be like, beep, 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 beep. I mean, we do have, a milkshake. She'd be like, my milkshake.
Yeah, I changed my poop sound.
Poop sounds. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Strobing Pop Plug, a podcast about beer, obviously.
Craft beer.
Craft beer, yes. I am this week's host, Ronald Lynch, and these are my lovely co-hosts, the amazing Missy Davis and the wonderful Ariana. Say hi to the people that are listening to us.
Hi to the people that are listening to us.
Okay. So, how the fuck are we doing this week, ladies?
Doing great.
Anything amazing happen over the weekend?
Yeah. Not for me.
I mean,
For somebody.
not really.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, family gatherings.
Hurrah, hurrah.
fucking family.
We're sharing the COVID.
Sweet, sweet.
All that COVID's. I've been coughing a lot lately, and people keep giving me dirty looks. I'm like, no, just sinuses.
I've been seen at gas stations where they say, you don't have to wear a mask, but unless if you have your vaccine, you don't have to wear a mask. But if you haven't had your vaccine, we suggest you wear a mask unless you have some kind of medical condition that's, going to, I forget what the wording, but basically it's just going to make it harder for you to breathe. And I was like, man, I hope I get yelled at, and I'll be like, well, I have a medical condition, I can't wear the mask, and I want to hear them say what, and then what I'm gonna say is, it's like, well, I don't want it to compromise my breathing because of my COVID. I have COVID and it's hard to breathe, so like the mask makes it even worse.
Sounds like a very
What was it? We went to one of the bars in town last year around this time, and they had a thing up about that. It was per HIPAA violations. We can't ask if you have a breathing issue.
Right.
But if you have breathing issues, you don't have to wear a mask or something. And it was like, otherwise, please mask up.
It's actually not a HIPAA violation though.
No,
it's
but
just they just can't.
No, but they were fucking
it.
trying to get the mask thing out.
Right.
So I guess since I'm the host, I brought the beers. Which do we want to go for first, A or B? That's A, that's B.
Damn, they both look good,
I
actually.
know.
All right.
I like I'd always pick by can style. Like that flavor, I'm like, ooh, I want the blue, and then put the.
Well, all
I
right.
think that can style's prettier too.
All right. So
I'll try that one.
they've said the pretty can style, so I'm going to.
I like it because it's UDF, and I'm like, ooh, UDF is good.
We'll do that one second. So the first one we have is Blueberry Blonde from Mueller's Brew House. They have locations in Troy and in the middle of fucking nowhere. I forget the location where their original was, but
Is it close
Mueller's
to Sydney or something?
not Sydney. It's like Bodkins. It's way out there in the middle of nowhere, but they do good work.
No, I've never been there.
And I picked this up from the little grocery store down from where I work at the other day. And it's a blueberry blonde, so the name pretty much says it. So I'll crack this bitch open and we'll get drinking. For those just listening, it doesn't have a whole much of a blue flavor, or blue color rather.
There's not a blue color at all.
Just looks like a regular pale ale.
It looks really good. The color. Damn, bro.
You know what? I've got more of these if you want more, so there.
It's like she's getting trashed.
Yes.
You know,
I don't have to work tomorrow.
you don't have to work tomorrow, you don't have
I
to
do.
drive anywhere. Beer. I have not tried any of these
It
yet.
smells like blueberry mixed with asparagus.
I thought it had a weird, like, blueberry and Play-Doh.
Blueberry and Play-Doh? Okay.
I smell asparagus.
There's
Is
like
this an IPA? It tastes kind of.
just a blonde. Doesn't say it's an IPA, so
That's right. It does say blonde. Let's
So,
see.
I didn't-
Maria Stein.
Maria Stein, there
I
you
knew
go.
it started with an M. I can't remember.
what's the ABV? It's not a lot.
4.8.
Yeah. So standard beery.
Enjoy a glass for best flavor and aroma. Well, it does have the really good aroma.
We drank one of those from there before, and like it started out tasting not good. Maybe it got better after you had a couple of drinks of it or something. I can't remember.
Maybe. Last weekend I was in Troy where they have like a regular strawberry festival thing, and these guys they converted a church in downtown Troy into their second location, and because their festival's a strawberry festival, they had some strawberry themed stuff of theirs. Strawberry Milkshake Ipa. I put pictures of that up on the Facebook. That was some good drinking.
color of this? That's a pretty. I'd drink it if it was offered to me, but I wouldn't buy it. I mean, it's not bad.
This has like after you drink it and like it sits for a minute, you can taste the blueberry like aftertaste.
It sticks to your mouth.
But it kind of tastes like asparagus at first.
Oh, it doesn't taste. It just has tastes like rubber bands because that's that IPA taste to me.
A little hoppy, but not super hoppy.
Rubber bands and
I'm
blueberries.
just hoping for asparagus, Pete.
You know,
Woohoo!
you want me to find some? I think asparagus is the season. Do you want me to figure out a recipe and brew you in a special Ariana's asparagus piss beer?
I don't know. I like asparagus, but I don't know about that. That sounds like it could be quite disgusting.
Vegetable flavored beers.
But it's healthy. It's vegetables, right?
Yes.
I mean, you could try it.
No, I've only got. I've only got about 2 months to get the rest of my inventory when I get done brewed.
Just make a gallon of it.
So I'm gonna have.
Make that much.
Dude, I can't make a gallon of that shit and have it turn out right. The numbers aren't gonna work. It would be like fucking awful, that kind of concentration.
I think you could just make a bunch then and then label them all just random labels like this is the strawberry, this is the people are like, it doesn't smell like that, and everybody's like, this is gross, what the fuck?
This is piss beer! Yay!
My pee smelled horrid that night and I drank so much I was peeing all night.
All night long. Okay then. Do me a favor, check your damn headsets. See if the power's still on.
Check my damn headset.
See if the power's still on.
See what we got going on.
Because this one stopped and I just turned it back on.
Are these things like...
Did you go way too cheap?
Probably. Hold down the power button for a second.
Because there was no button on.
Okay,
yeah,
that's back on.
Mine's on now.
Yeah.
What's up with this?
They're all recording again, so.
Okay, alrighty.
Yay, stupid shit.
Testes.
They recorded for a good solid like 10 minutes before I cut it and restarted the recording process.
I wonder what that.
I don't know, but they're all going again and I'll fix it and edit it or something later.
We'll figure it out.
So.
It sounds too shitty.
Yes.
Video it is. I want to hear your...
Oh, the serial pooper?
Yes. Tell us of the serial pooper.
So, I was on Facebook the other day, last week sometime. It was actually before we recorded our last podcast, and I somehow forgot to talk about this, and I can't believe it. But somebody said, the North Broadway serial pooper has finally been caught. And I'm like, what?
That's awesome.
So, tell me about the serial pooper and where they were pooping and all this.
So, I went in the comments and I'm reading, and this guy's like, this guy's been pooping in my yard for like years. And this is in Greenville.
That's great. Has he been pooping other places too?
He's been, like, apparently around North Broadway in Greenville, he was just like pooping in different yards and stuff.
That's funny.
So, just no malice behind it. She'd be like, well, I'm gonna shit here today.
Well, I don't know, because there was one website that said he made a comment about the people's yard that he was pooping in were Democrats, and he's a big Trumper.
Oh, I saw something about that. Like, he was shitting in the yards of people that had, like, Biden flags out or Biden signs.
I don't know if that's true, but I wouldn't be surprised because it's a very conservative area.
That's like a not conservative thing to do, I feel like, though.
Well, it's a conservative area, and then he's like, not a conservative thing to do, so he's like, I'm gonna shit in my yard.
I mean, have you watched the news, though?
Yeah, the news has been pretty fucking shit for a while. It's been nuts.
I should watch the news.
I don't watch the news. Fuck the news.
I should.
I
don't know what's going on in this world.
I'll flip
Who's
through.
president?
I'm sheltered.
I'll flip through.
Who is president?
When
What the fuck is this?
When I'm at work in the morning after I finish my tickets and I'm waiting for more to come through, I'll flip through some of the news, like, sites and read some of the stuff, and yeah, everything's fucking insane, so,
So this guy is apparently a teacher, or was a teacher in Greenville.
This song was.
And the one guy was talking about he's been pooping. So I'm kind of thinking this guy might be my personal hero now. I don't know. But he's like, I'm like wondering, because they call him a serial pooper. I'm like, is he like a serial killer? Does he like go back and like, this is the first place I pooped?
Because he's like so like into it.
He's like,
he jerks off to it.
basically. And he's like, look how green the grass is.
Right here is where I kept pooping.
Right here,
see
man.
it's like
this
way
one
better.
spot is so fertilized, man.
That's great. No, see.
But, yeah. I just thought it was awesome.
Because that sounds really familiar to me. Like, I don't know if I've heard that story.
That's because everyone that's listened to the previous probably every episode has told a story about pooping.
But then I swear I've heard something about a serial pooper before, and it might have just been something that was, I swear it was on like The Office, but I don't watch The Office.
I want to say that he had been doing it for like 10 years or something. I can't remember exactly, but it might have been
10 years. That is fucking dedication.
Right? And like, I guess he would go to the bar or something, and he'd be walking home. I don't know, he's walking home from the bar and just like, oh, I got a shit. I'm like, does he carry toilet paper? Is he just like scoot on the lawn? I mean, I don't fucking know.
No, he's just like, all right, I'm gonna shit here. I'm gonna wipe when I get to the house.
Yeah.
Or does he actually squat and shit in the yards, or does he carry it with him and just like?
Maybe he just shits and like shakes it out of his pant leg.
So that's great. He carries diapers with him.
Is a fart supposed to run down your leg?
I won't say. So my only thoughts on that is back in the day when I worked at Hastings, one of the girls that worked there told me this story, and like she would go out jogging in the mornings and like really early and in town
After her coffee.
No, in the middle of town, and she'd be like, I gotta piss, and she'd just drop her pants right in the middle of Richmond, find a person's yard, and just fucking piss all over them. Going, really?
I mean, I've known people like that.
Yeah. Are you people like that?
I've known people like that too, to be honest.
Only when I'm drunk, maybe.
I am not. I don't pee like that. I
Not
totally
like-
hold it.
Not like anymore, but maybe when I was like in my early 20s and I really had to go, like I might, drop a trowel somewhere.
I don't know. It's just like, really? Just right in the middle of town? Like, I'm a dude and I can whip it out and go pee pretty easily, but dude, no, not in the middle of town.
Well, so this goes back to the girl who pooped her pants. She's the one that I did the story of. Did I tell the time about the time that she peed she's peed on the side of the road several times. I don't know that I did or not. Like,
Did she have like a UTI or something?
No, it wasn't, because if the truck broke down, we were taking the truck from Greenville to Dayton, and it broke down right outside of Greenville. And so she's like, great, I have to pee. And we were waiting on the tow truck guy.
Real quick, Ariana, just a simple question, yes or no?
For what?
Just yes or no?
No.
Fine, fuck you, bitch.
I knew that if he said yes, he could like whip around and like do some editing tricks. And
No, it's fine. It's fine. I was going to break the rules, but it's okay.
No.
Oh, the rules was going to be I get another blueberry blonde and pour us another one.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead and break
Okay.
the rule.
That was going to be what I was going to break.
But no, so our truck broke down on the side of the road. And so we work third shift. This is the middle of the night. We're not anywhere near anything. She's like, I gotta pee. So she gets up, she pisses right beside the truck, and then like we're waiting on the tow truck guy. Then he gets there and he gets, he's like taking the chains and wrapping them around the tires and stuff so he can pull it up onto the bed of the truck. And he's laying on the ground, and she's like, oh my god, he's laying in my piss. So this dude was laying in her piss.
Wow.
And she took a picture. I don't know how she got the picture of him without him knowing it. And it came out so clear. Like, he was there, his hands here with the tires and stuff, and here was the piss around his body. She was laying right in her piss.
Wow. So, same stuff as before. I wanted another one because they're good.
So the series, like my friend, a couple days after I saw that on Busted in Dark County, my friend sent a link to like, I forget what it's called, like New York Daily or something, and they had like written the story. They were the ones that wrote about him being the Trump supporter. And then
That's where I saw that at.
Then this morning, they were saying it was on the Bobby Bones show, which is like, I think I just looked it up. It's out of like Austin, Texas or something. I'm like, holy shit.
That's funny.
Wow.
Like, it's so
I hope it goes viral and like all the major Trump supporters who are like all mad that he lost, they're like, you know what? Fuck them Democrats. And then everybody like
poops in a yard?
Just a fucking swath of viral yard shitting because it's not even a political thing at this point. It's just a hilarious thing.
like it's a riot. And they
Yeah.
just, like,
That's
ran
great.
out
A shit
with
riot.
drop drones.
That's it.
Right. Why didn't all the rioters do that? We're just gonna poop in the streets, man. We're gonna poop right here. Let's just create a big poop pile and set it on
We're not
fire.
gonna fucking attack the Capitol and try to do all that shit. No, we're just gonna shit right on the fucking Capitol Hill steps, man.
Nope, right in the middle, like as soon as you walk in, like the big nice room, just
Oh,
big shit pile.
Oh yeah, right where they were doing all the shit. They just all walk in there, drop trout, and then walk out peacefully.
Yes.
Like, we think this country's shit. Fuck that. Now we're gonna get some comments and stuff.
There we go.
We'll get some.
Get some shit like.
We'll get some people riled up with that.
We got political.
We'll get people riled up.
I don't even get political normally.
Neither do I.
I just thought it was funny talking about people pooping in yards because they were mad.
They're like, that's that podcast chick.
Probably bitch.
I fucking know her, bitch. That's great.
So, what else? This was one of the things I wanted to talk about. Sunday, I went to a horror film at a place called the Neon Movies in Dayton, and I have not been there in a hell of a long time. And way back in the day when we were all in high school, they used to show the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And the place has gotten way high class since then. In the day, it was the kind of place if you sit in the wrong seat, you're going to get herpes from the seat. But yeah, I put up pictures and picture of the theater. Had like a ridiculous number of people coming out of the woodwork going, "Oh my God, at that place!"
That's funny. No, it was a really cool dump that had it was the cinematic screen?
Cinerama.
Cinerama. Okay, so one of the last times, well, I can't say it was one of the last times I was there. I think it was either when we were watching the Blair Witch Project, because they had that there, or they had Orgasmo. It was one of the two that I went there and watched that. Oh shit, who was it? Quentin Tarantino was there. He kind of just really snuck in and sat in, and they snuck him in. I was like, that looks like Quentin Tarantino. And I was asking people if they thought that was him, and nobody knew who it was. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you, loser?
Doesn't know that.
Right.
I was there, and my response was, I was fucking blasted drunk.
The chick was like, the one chick that I asked, it was like that Tina chick.
Yeah.
She was like, is he hot? And I was like, no. I was like, not hot at all. She's like, I don't know who he is. I was like, well, okay. And then, throughout the week on the radio, I heard them saying that he was there checking it out because it's like.
I remember that vaguely.
It was at the time it was probably even not,
They had like maybe 3 or 5 of the Cinerama screens.
In the United States. They had one of them.
The Cinerama screen was this like fucked up thing they did in like the 40s or 50s where instead of like a normal smooth movie theater screen, they had a bunch of strips of screen hanging down from the top of the ceiling, and the theater was like an extra wide screen format.
I think it was a little curved.
Yeah, it was a little bit curved. You had like a 120-degree thing. Then they made like a few movies that could actually like utilize the thing, but they had to like run 3 projectors synced together or some shit.
It was really neat.
And the damn theater was really cool for that. I never saw them actually run any of the Cinerama stuff because those prints were,
I would like to know what does it, is it like a 3D effect or?
Kind of like a 3D effect. When I was a kid, I went to a thing at Disney World where they had this like 360-degree theater. There's a screen all around you.
Interesting.
So it's kind of like that. You ever go to like the Air Force Base IMAX where they have that
shit makes
thing?
me nauseous.
Me too.
I got out there one day and threw up all over the floor. I was like, the field trip.
It's like that. I think it's like that, but a primitive version.
That and like laser shows do that shit.
Laser shows don't do it to me. I like the laser shows. I can do those.
But it was really cool. Of course, as far as the Cinerama screen shit, some fuckwit from Rocky Horror Picture Show was smoking in the theater when he wasn't supposed to. Put a cigarette out and
apparently didn't put it out
very well, and it like caught a row of seats on fire. And after that, they like kicked Rocky Horror out and like remodeled the place, and it changed hands a few times to the fancy hoity-toity place it is now. They only show, generally speaking, like shit you'd see on the independent film channel that no one's ever heard of.
Yes.
I was there for independent film that a girl that in the movie that I was filming with a few weeks ago, she was in. And they're like $20 ticket and 2 beers. I'm in.
Hell yeah.
So that's my ramble, my excitement.
No, what was that? I had a dream. This awesome dream. We were famous for our podcast, and it was really funny. So first, I was at my parents' house, and so this dude that you and I went to school with, Sam Mueller, he came over, Sean's brother, and like he came over, and for some reason he was wearing a Ghostbusters proton pack. Like I don't know why he was wearing this. And then he had this, he's like, hey, I got something for you. I was like, oh, okay, what is it? So he gave me this award. And he's like, yeah, it's an award for like one of your episodes of your podcast. I was like, really? Like people actually listen to this shit? Like you think it's funny? He's like, no, that like one episode. I just think it's really dope. And this award, It was a toilet seat and a toilet lid. And there was something written on the lid. And then when you do this, there was something written on the seat. It was just like, I can't remember what it was. I don't even know that I knew what it was. But I was like, this is amazing. Oh my God, yes. And it was like a great award because it was a toilet seat. And like I brought it over and you were like, yes. And we were trying to figure out where to hang it on the wall above this couch. I was like, this is so fucking cool. And then I woke up, I was like, what the hell?
So are we going to have to make that award just so we can be the first winners of it?
Yes, I think, send your award ideas in. Please send us your toilet seats.
So many episodes of
We need to get a
poop
PO box
that we
just
win
for that.
the crappy award.
Yes.
There you go.
But it was really great. Like I can't remember if it was episode 3 or episode 4 that he really liked, and he said that episode was dope.
And then in the dream he was all like, your boobs were so fantastic. Oh my God. And
No,
then
I think it was
turned...
episode 4 because that's the one where you had to shit your pants for 1,000 likes.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was.
But
Missy has a boob fan though.
Yeah.
He was
Hey,
a
boob
set
fan.
for Missy's boobs.
Boob fan, share them tits. The bat tits. No, the bat boobs.
And then what else? Oh my God, this fucking lady. So I was at work the one day. And, it was at the end of my shift. Like 24 hours been running. And I was getting really just running low. I was just like so just out of energy, ready to end my day. We get this one last fucking patient. And so I walked past the hospital room because we're taking her out of the hospital back to the nursing home she lived in. But I walked past and I see her laying there and she just happens to look up, open her eyes, and then she starts going, oh, and it's like it was a knee injury. And so I walked to the nurse's station. She's like, oh, she is so annoying. And like she did have an injury, but it wasn't a serious injury. It just was causing her to not really be able to walk well, and that's why we were taking her out of there. And I was like, I thought she was like just hamming it up. And so she was doing that the whole time to get her, I was the one that was stuck in the back with her. So this lady, I thought for sure she was like hamming it up. And I could tell because, so on the way back to her nursing home, she was laying there, just the way she was moaning and whining about it. It sounded a certain way, but then my partner hit a bump in the road and I could tell that actually hurt her, and she sounded completely different. So when it was actually causing her pain, she sounded different than what she sounded like when she was kind of just hamming it up. But the thing of it was, I got so pissed because the way she was moaning, it sounded like somebody was fucking her. It sounded like she was having sex. I was like, God damn it. I was like, what the fuck? And she just kept doing it. I was like, and it was like she was old and ugly, and I was like,
hey, old ugly people need love too.
No. But the way she was doing that, I about got up, stood over her. I wanted to make direct eye contact and be like, dude, what is the opposite of can I watch? Because you need to fucking stop. I was just so pissed. I was like,
You remind me of that TikTok I showed you a little bit ago. You said old people need love too.
Yeah. Look, you just get some fucking lemon scented pledge, that'll cover up the smell. Fucking psst.
But
Sit like a fucking feather duster, dust that shit off.
It was so
Don't break grandma's
irritating to
hip.
me. I was just like, why?
Dose grandpa's
But
medicine.
she wasn't getting any
Like a bunch
attention
of
from
Viagra.
anybody for acting like that. I wasn't talking to her. I would have just let her sit there and be like, hello, hey.
I remember hearing stories from the ex.
Sorry, doing my paperwork. I'll get to you in a minute.
I remember hearing stories from the ex about her, I guess her great grandmother when she was starting to go. The lady would purposely call the EMTs just for attention.
They do.
She would do shit.
Some of them I didn't mind.
She would,
they wanted to visit.
She would go and do her makeup and her hair and get herself all gussied up and as pretty as she could. And then she'd call them oh, I fell and I can't get up. And then she'd just sit down on the floor and be like, oh, I fell it again. And then she flirt with the EMTs and all that sort of stuff.
We would have this guy that would, he would have, what was his issue? It was always chest pain. But we'd put him on the monitor, or else he'd be like, well, it doesn't really hurt bad now. And he didn't want to go to the hospital, and he wanted, and he's like, oh, but I need help with this. And sometimes they'll call, they just have get exhausted in their own house doing the stuff that they should, they used to be able to do on their own. They'll ask you to do that before you leave, or they'll just sit and just start talking and talking. Some of them were enjoyable. So I would sit and talk to him for a little bit, and then I'd be like, hey, we have to go. And there was this one lady, I think she may have really had an issue. I think she did fall, or I can't, her issue, she did have her issue, but whatever it was, we helped her. And she was fine, but she was like my lieutenant that was with me, she commented on the one room she had. And she goes, oh yeah, this is this. And she was telling us about the room and the stuff in it. And then she gave us a tour of her house before we left. It was actually pretty cool. Sometimes they're annoying when they're whiny, but the other times when they just want some company and they actually have pretty cool shit to say, I was like, all right, cool, I can do this. It was good times.
Okay, so number 2 time?
Sure thing.
All right.
Number 2.
So,
The poop.
number 2, another poop joke. All right, so I believe we, I shall just say, we're going to need to start looking in your yard for the boys, Ariana.
Oh,
Because
boys.
my milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, oh, you going to jiggle it for us there?
No.
It's UDF, United Dairy Farmers, which for us is kind of a grocery store / ice cream place.
Ice cream.
And it's Taft's UDF
Gas
Milkshake
station.
IPA.
Gas station, grocery, and ice cream.
We totally used to stop and get ice cream after school.
I
Yes,
remember that. On the
that's-
pointy bottom, that's yours to open.
That was legitimately I was like, oh fuck.
The pointy bottom cone.
Missy would always get pumpkin, and I would always get peppermint.
And my lame ass would always get the strawberry because that's what I got.
I always, I know I would, did you buy us, it was because it was 2 for $1 Friday, was it?
Something like that. But,
I-
we'd always
Well, he was being cheap, but he would buy everybody ice cream. But it was Fridays because you would get 2 scoops for 1. And so I would get the pumpkin and usually the Blue Moo cookie dough with it. I would get 2 random flavors.
We'd always hop in that old shitty van I had, and
Yes.
you know what I'm talking about?
I want to find a van like that and redo it. You are super shaky, dude.
I'm tired. I'm terrible. I'm sorry.
I'm terrible. No, you were shaky with the first one. Are you I was going to ask if you're low sugar, but we both ate and we're drinking beer, so that you don't have low sugar.
Dehydrated or something, maybe?
Are you having Strobing?
You
Yes.
smell burnt toast?
Yes, I
was
smell
talking
burnt
about
toast.
Strobing earlier. I was like, it smelled electric burning in my house the other day, and I started to wonder if I was having a stroke because I didn't know where it was coming from.
Let me look at my face.
Alright, so how's this stuff taste?
Ooh, that's delicious. I don't even
It's
really,
good.
I was going to say I don't taste the strawberry,
it.
but it's not strawberry, it's just milkshake.
It's just milkshake.
It's,
Shit out of
it's
it.
got it's the lactose in it.
Yeah.
That's what it's good.
A little bit of sweetness, a little bit of that IPA-ness.
A sweet IPA. I've been finding some sweet IPAs, and I like with a sweet flavor,
Taft's is out of Cincinnati somewhere, I believe.
probably.
Let me see, I believe it's
I like it.
pale ale.
Pale male.
Pale ale with
We know what's on Ron's mind.
India Pale
Well,
Ale
just
with
high month, I
lactose,
guess.
brewed and
Let's see how
canned by
gay we can
Taft's
be this
Brewing in
month.
Cincinnati, Ohio. So
I
yeah,
like it.
Cincy, Ohio.
It is Pride Month.
Right, so for Pride Month, Ron's going to be drinking pale male instead of pale ale.
Oh, stop it, you big filly. Oh my goodness. And while I'm going to be drinking pale ale for Pride Month, they're going to start making out, and this is going to be a whole different podcast and a whole different thing. No?
I'm good. Nice try, Ron.
Ruin all my fun fetishes and fantasies.
A guy will always try, even when he's getting with a pale male. So is he goth, or is he just a blonde, a little just
He's goth.
pale?
He's goth. His name is Azrael Ezekiel of the Night. He looks better in lipsticks and high heels than you ever could. Oh my god.
Do you have more of this?
Yes.
Yeah, we should drink more of this.
It would be so trashed.
Or you can get to the last one.
Or you can just leave the rest
Lastin?
of
Jesus, dude.
The last beer.
You said the Lastin.
The mystery
Lastin.
beer.
He's getting old.
Remember when in 6th grade?
It sounded familiar to me.
I totally remember that time. I didn't know you guys yet.
So our teacher, she would say, let's do another.
That's what it was. I knew it. I was like, that Lastin sounds like something.
And we would always make fun of her.
We
Yeah.
we made fun of her. We
Man,
made fun of every
freaking
teacher we
horrible
had.
to her. We were probably worse to her than any other teacher, though.
But she didn't receive the worst from us. There was a kid that was in our class that his older brother punched her in the stomach. Oh, God.
vaguely remember that.
I don't remember like the actual act of it, but I remember him telling me about that. I was like, dude, yes, good for him.
And she's probably like okay outside of school or whatever, you know, like she's probably alright, but it's like when you're in 6th grade, you're like.
If I ran into her though, I mean, I could like have a conversation with her easy, you know, and then I would totally be making fun of her after the fact.
And then, like Missy would always talk to people. Not
Missy talk to people?
Missy
no,
would
she
always,
is the quiet one.
She would always be talking to people, and she got in trouble. And then she had like to move her desk away from everybody, and she put like a sign that said Missy's Island.
You drew the picture for me. You drew my sign because she basically, the teacher threatened to make me have my own island, and I wasn't allowed to sit with anybody, and my desk was just out in the middle floating. And she drew. It's like, I swear, the picture you drew that said Missy's Island. I don't know if it was the lady's ass, but it was like this polka dotted dress and some legs and some dress shoes, and it was like that part of the bottom or something. I know it was.
That.
It was because
you did it for some
No,
reason.
it wasn't me. It was you. You're like, I'll make you a sign. I'm like, yes. I was so excited about it.
That does sound like something I would do. I would probably still do something like that.
Well, that's just like that
Do you
TikTok
want me
I
to get
made.
some more milkshake to bring some more milk west of your yard, dear?
I mean,
I could do hell yeah, why not?
Right.
That TikTok I made with the firefighters, the link
That was
came
the
in-
best one.
That's on my refrigerator. That's been on my refrigerator.
I showed that to my friend at work, and she was cracking up.
I was just like, it was so funny because Larry's like, I'm surprised you didn't get a lot of comments with a bunch of people getting pissed. I was like, no, they would all agree to it. Like, yep, that's us.
And it was funny that you got like the
Fire Department Chronicles dude.
Yeah.
I tagged him in it, and he was like, yeah. Like, I knew he would like it. He was always making fun of like the fire and EMS shit.
All right. I'm going to let you guys have that one to yourselves. I'm good.
Yay. He's like, I have to drive home tonight. He's got much farther drive than me. I'll just sit and chill out.
Yeah, this shit is good.
It is
I like it.
delicious.
They had, and I forget what it was, but there was another,
Where did you got this at UDF?
no, I'm sure they sell it at UDF, but that actually came from the little grocery store down the street from where I work at. Wagner's,
I wonder if they would
whatever.
have it for sales too then.
Probably. Like, until we started doing this podcast, I never really went in there for anything more than to grab something for lunch.
6.6.
But
I knew what you meant. Ooh, I like it because I really didn't realize that there, but the dude's in a bathtub.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
I like that because it's on the where the barcode is too. It's like a little cutout.
That can reminds me of a shirt I used to wear.
It must have not been at school.
It probably was towards the end of school.
I don't remember.
Maybe.
I remember you wearing a bunch of black.
I had this like, it was like white and it had like the red and
Okay.
pink, and it got like lighter as it went down, like ombre sleeves kind of.
I don't remember the ombre sleeves. I remember you having like it had like I don't know something similar.
chug, 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 chug.
Ariana does not chug.
Sip, 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 sip.
Yeah,
This is some good stuff.
it really is. I could drink this for lunch at work.
For lunch at work.
There's
Well,
been
would they
times-
let you drink it for lunch at work?
No.
There's been times where I've like was getting ready to grab some stuff for my lunch and I'd be like, I need to grab the drink there, and I almost always grab a beer. Fuck. I wouldn't get in trouble if I had the beer with me. Nobody would probably notice.
I don't know what that says about you, but
It's okay. There's been a few
It's
times.
just because I'm like always in a hurry. That's pretty much what it says. Be like,
There's
so-
been a couple, like the first episode or two, whenever I brought stuff, I was all like, okay, I'm going to go get the beer. When I have it in the car, I'm going to drive straight from home to Ariana's, and then we'll record. Oh man, that's going to get warm in the car. I should totally put it in the fridge. I'm like, wait a minute, I can't put beer in the work fridge. That's probably something that'll get me fired.
you think so? If it's not open?
Yes, because they're going to be like, so whose beer is this? Who's drinking it? Where's the rest?
I would
In
kind of just
half
say
the
like,
country, I think it would be okay.
right. I would.
think.
It's even at my job. Like I would be able to do that. I would just have to hide it from certain people, probably because they would drink it instead. Like
Nah, they're the big corporation kind of rules. you
I
know
don't
what I'm
have
saying?
big corporation. we've had moments, like, they were always responsible with us, but it was like, oh, hey guys, you guys been working hard, and, you know, this company's grown here. So then, like, if they would take a break, like, mid-shift or whatever, and they only did it a couple times, they'd say, oh, like, we don't have anything, and the phone's been super dead, and, like, the hospitals are empty right now, go ahead and have a beer, because I just want beer. Like, they wouldn't care. And then, like, there would be times where, like, when I first started, they were using older trucks, so the trucks would be breaking down and shit. And then if they had to get sent out to get fixed, they didn't have another truck to put us on. So they would just be like, fuck it, we're just gonna go out and, you know, do this. We would go, like, they would just take us out and drink, or, like, they took me to the gun range one time, and, like, it was, like, pretty cool.
That would be cool as shit.
It wasn't good for the company because it was costing them a lot of money. Because since they do salary, and at the time it was only 24-hour shifts, you show up and you're there for 2 hours and your truck breaks down, they can't not pay you for it.
See?
Because it's salary. Like, it's illegal for them to not pay you. So I'd make that money regardless. I'd be like, you want to hang out with us? You want to do this? Like, so we just go do shit.
So the thing about that is that's definitely, you know, gun range, having a drink. That's team building kind of shit. That kind of shit builds loyalty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, yeah, and that's kind of like how they are in a sense.
When I worked at Honda, one of the reasons I was always like, to my guys, I was like, you know, always pulling to get like the best fucking takeout of any of the 3 Honda plants we had, was because it's like, you know, it builds loyalty. Team building shit, you know. I couldn't, you know, obviously couldn't get anybody to go into the plant and drink like that. I've talked about that one boss that would tell us, you know, don't wear your uniform, show up at this bar here in this place, and we're drinking. That was team building shit, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's totally what they were doing.
Well, so that's what they did the one time. I wasn't there for this time, but I guess they went out and the truck broke down. So they took the 2 dudes out, and, you know, whatever lunchtime margarita special, they were at some Mexican restaurant, they were just making them drink all these, have another one, and then they were like super trashed, and they're like, okay, you guys are sleeping here. And so, I mean, we had beds at the station at that time, so they would just sleep at the station. Oh no, are we losing sound again?
See, check yourself.
Check yourself.
Before you'll wreck yourself.
Check yourself.
Stuck. Oh, what a bitch.
Piece of shit.
Anything else that I've used of this brand, or I've always liked?
I don't know if it was like a charge thing or what. I'm gonna have to dig up the manual and see if there's like some timeout bullshit. I don't know, because these are supposed to be able to plug into your PC and be like gamer level headsets, and I can imagine like, you know, gamers rage breaking these things if they shut off every 15, 20 minutes.
Yes, that would be a thing.
Yeah, you just died, Missy.
I died.
Yeah, I can tell just looking at the sound bouncing.
Did you buy a 12-pack of this?
6er actually.
6er? How much was it? Out of curiosity.
Hello.
$6.99 maybe, $7.99.
I
Not a lot.
wonder why it's dying.
This is really good. I would like drink this as a regular beer.
Well, there's
It's not bad at all.
at least 3 more in your fridge.
I went to
'Cause,
the Barrel House.
When one of my other weekend activities, I had to pay my assistant, and I paid it in beer.
Pay your assistant?
Yes. So I mentioned there was a strawberry festival going on in Troy. I went to Fulton Farms, which is one of like the main strawberry like distributors for the strawberry festival. Because of COVID, it was a strawberry jam, and it was smaller, and they had a lot of extra berries. They had a You Pick Berry place, and I picked a 6-gallon bucket of strawberries to turn into wine. Well, a friend of mine, she mentioned something about
your
like
assistant. She's fun. She's a lot of fun.
Yes.
You should hang out with her sometime. Miss Adrian.
Yes, Miss Adrian. But she was like, I initially brought my daughter, and she was getting overheated, so I took her home. And I was like, hey, Adrian, you want to go help me pick berries? She said, that might be fun. She helped me pick the other 6 gallons, but I gave her one of the blueberry lemonades and one of the Tafts. So
It's a blueberry blonde.
So it was the definitely
Blueberry
good
lemonade
payment.
would be
So
good. You called it a blueberry lemonade. It's a blueberry blonde.
Blueberry
but
blonde,
if it was a
excuse me.
blueberry lemonade, it would be good.
That would be good.
yes.
I'm not like a lemon fan of anything, especially beer. Well, I like lemons or lemon candy, but like lemon breads and shit I don't like. I made this blueberry lemon bread. It was really good. And there was, I think it's more like a sherbet, I think, but it's who are those 2 guys that make the Ben and Jerry's?
Ben and Jerry's.
So there was like a sherbet, and it was lemon, but it was like a blueberry lemon, and they called it Liz Lemon. And it was like, yeah, $30. And so I had to get it, and it was actually really fucking good.
Sounds like it would
It was
probably be
it was
good.
like a lemon icy with blueberry swirls in it. Oh, it was so fucking good. And that's not typically my thing.
Do you like lemon bars?
Not necessarily, but I mean, like I've never had them.
I've had lemon.
Fucking lemon bar.
So I would try it.
Okay, I will try it. The times I've had lemon bars, the amount of lemon has been like just beat you over the face like sour. But
I
I'll
would
try it.
prefer that versus like I don't like like lemon cookies, like those stupid Girl Scout ones are fucking gross. And
So,
like that.
like
I don't
any-
like them.
So for me, like when I think of just straight lemon flavor, like if you go to like a fair or carnival and get the lemonade shake-ups, that shit is like for me
That's
the
super
best way
sweet.
to have lemon. You know what I'm saying?
I drink lemon water every day. I take half a lemon and I have these huge lemons this time. Well, they're not that big, but they're like God, they're probably like super fucking big. And I've been like squeezing lemon water in my water thing, and I drink that. And it's really funny because Logan, he doesn't scream at me, but he's like, "Oh, are you drinking that gross lemon water again?" So he'd be like, "Can I have a sip of that?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, take a sip." "Ah, it's lemon water. Why did you do that?"
I was doing that for a while, and like, I don't know, it was messing with me. So I can't even remember what it was doing because this was years ago. But I had to stop drinking it because it was like, I don't know if it was constipating me or what the hell. Something was going on.
You know, it
I
always
think it's
goes-
not going to do that. I think it's the opposite.
It always goes back to poop with
Almost
us
the opposite
guys.
of what everybody else says they are.
But it's also, so I was doing that and I could feel a difference when I was doing a whole thing of lemon. So I started doing half a lemon and it's better. And I've, like, it's supposed to be good for you, but if you, I mean, I think like if you just, I wouldn't think that much lemon could change your body, like the alkalinity to it, but maybe it does. And I know, like, I think that should be able to give you the shits. I don't think it would constipate you. Sometimes I feel like dried out though, like my mouth will feel dry.
I don't know. I can't even remember what it did, but it was like doing, like something was different to where it was like not good, and I'm like, I need to stop drinking this.
I could tell it. Like that's when I was doing a whole lemon. Half lemon's not that bad of a difference. It's made it better because the alkalinity is like a big thing. You can, I don't know. It's
Ariana, finish up that shit.
I'm trying.
I'm gonna get the mystery beer when you finish it up.
she's not a fast drinker.
Okay. Yeah.
She's never been a fast eater either. But I think
I
she
am
eats.
now.
I was gonna say you eat a lot faster than when I
No.
whatever. Like
Oh,
remember
speaking,
work
I'm gonna
breaks.
state, speaking
Yeah.
of Ariana and food, we both had her balls in our mouths tonight, and she has
She's got
amazing
tasty
balls.
balls.
Oh my god, I would just
They're a
hold her,
little
I put her
spicy.
balls in my mouth like every day.
Right.
They're a little cheesy. They're a little spicy.
Oh,
This- Ariana's salty balls or spicy balls rather.
muy caliente spicy balls.
I put her we're gonna call it Tajin. The Tajin balls.
You
I
know,
put Tajin on it.
you know, I'm just gonna state that we really fucked up because we should have took like the corn and the balls and took it.
Put the
made
corn
it,
in the balls.
made a dick pic.
Tahini.
It's Tajin.
Tajin.
We should have put the balls and the corn and made a dick pic.
Oh, that would have been hilarious. There would have been tiny balls for that corn. I was thinking they were gonna be a lot bigger.
All right, guys, rinse
Whoa.
those out, and I will be right
Whoa.
back with the mystery beer.
Do you have a thing or do we have to cover our eyes?
Oh, cover your eyes.
Oh, you big old wee wee.
Sounds like a.
Personal
problem.
It
Almost not that water. It sounds like setup.
For me, this is the beer that made me decide that I like craft beer.
Okay. Oh, you said I've had this beer before.
Yes.
Missy probably knows now.
Missy's had this before. No. But this is the beer that made me decide, you know what? Maybe craft beer's okay. I can deal with this because this ain't like Bud Light shit. That's hot, girl. That's hot.
That's
got
so
you on
funny.
your own.
Every time she does that, like I've always thought this, but she sounds like Barney from The Simpsons.
You know, I've got like her own audio isolated now, so I can just be like, "Brr, brr, brr, brr."
To make a song.
Yeah, songify it.
Yes.
No, keep them covered, girl.
Got my eyes closed. I'm gonna bring a koozie for mine, so nobody has to hide.
Son of a
shit.
bitch.
I have one sitting there in the kitchen, actually.
Ariana, do you have a bottle opener? Because I have a
It's like son of a bitch. I'm such a pussy.
It's on the side of the fridge.
Yeah, brah. I used it last week. Don't you remember? And the
No.
wine
How
bottle
many times
opener.
have you been here now? This is like 6 times.
Right.
So I thought it was a twist off cap. I
Oh,
thought
I know what it is. It's not because I saw it, but I know what beer. It's the damn good one that we like.
yeah, this is the one that got me into it. Let me go ahead and pour it.
One of my favorites.
One of my favorites too.
I know I bought it for you for Christmas one year.
Yes, you're the bitch that got me hooked on it.
I bought it, I forget where I bought it. I think I got it at Walmart. No, it was at Meyer. Because I bought a
You
couple
got me
different
a gift pack. It was like
Mhm.
a gift pack, and they had a bunch of different variants of it. And that is still one of my favorite glasses.
Yes, it was at Meyer.
All right, so go ahead and crack into it.
Is it chocolate?
No.
Just take a sip. I'm not gonna.
Tastes like chocolate.
I was gonna say
This is one of the favorites, as always.
Oh.
Dragon's Milk.
Yes.
Bourbon barrel aged stout, 11-something%.
I bought that for somebody for Christmas, but I don't know that I think maybe I did try it. I think maybe you had some or something and
Maybe.
I tried it. I can't remember.
Yeah, that's a possibility. You might have had some at your house when you were over.
But I think I bought that for my stepbrother for Christmas.
So it's got the coffee, chocolate married with sweet undertones of vanilla and oak from 3-month stay in bourbon barrels to create a truly legendary blend. What I liked about the
This is good.
This is what got me into drinking craft.
me too. What I liked about the so it was like 2 different bottles, and I think it was 2 different flavors of theirs.
New Holland Brewing Company, and they are in. Does it say on the bottle? Probably somewhere New Holland.
I don't know what the fuck a New Holland is. What's a New Holland?
Holland, Michigan. There you go.
Sorry, I figured
Holland,
it was-
Michigan.
Ooh.
I've been there actually.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
So anyway, so this beer. What about it? So when I got it was just a gift pack. It had 2 bottles in it, and it was I think 2 different. I know it was 2 different flavors. I don't really remember what they were, other than maybe one of them was this one.
Regular there was actually 3. It was regular.
3 of them?
I think so.
I think there's 2 in there.
Well, there was regular and a mint.
There wasn't. Yeah, there wasn't mint. I remember that. So it had they call it maybe a snifter glass, I think is what they call them, because it looks like a wine glass, but it has a small stem.
It looks kind of like the glasses we're drinking now if you're watching the YouTube video, but it had a stem on the bottom, kind of like a wine glass.
And so those, it was really cool because I don't know if it was on each individual bottle. I don't think it was. I think it was on the back of the box, but it had it just basically planned out a meal and told you what you could pair with that particular bottle. And so it was like it down to the dessert. Like it told you like this would be like your meat, this would be your, and I was like, I didn't do that. I mean, I drank them both.
I did. I'll just state that I did because it specifically mentioned steak and stout, and ever since then, anytime that I'm at the house and I've got a stout around, steak and stout, man. Some nice garlic mashed potatoes.
I've become quite the beer snob, and I do like pairing my beers with food.
I should start doing that.
I went out to eat with Larry and the boys this weekend, and there was nothing on the beer menu, and I was like, I ordered water. I didn't order an alcoholic beverage because I was so disappointed in what they had to offer. I was like, no, this just won't do. And Larry's like, you too much of a beer snob? I was like, yeah.
I haven't gotten that far yet.
I won't lie. So if I'm out at a restaurant, I take a look and it's, your Bud Light, your Coors that. I'm just gonna order a Coke.
I don't even think they had a Sam Adams.
I hate to be that guy. Was it last time I went to Red Robin's? I was there and I was like looking down the beer list.
They have decent mixed drinks.
Red Robin's has their own lager.
Do they?
Yes, I was like, I will drink that. I got, was it 24 ounce, or I got a tall, and it's pretty good lager. It's like every other lager.
Just regular, right.
But it was pretty good. But other than that, no, I'm just Coke, soda, water. Because unless it's something that I can't get anywhere else, I'm gonna say I'm doing the beer snob game.
I didn't want to drink like a 400 calorie sweet mixed drink, so I was like, you guys don't have a satisfactory beer for me. Like, I'm not doing it. I couldn't bring myself to do it. It was so funny. I was like,
what's funny is
how long does it take you to get there? How long have you been doing this?
It's when you get to.
It's only really been like a couple years. I really.
It doesn't take you that long to get there. It's when you're like, well, that tastes exactly like every other Bud Light I've had. That tastes like every other Coors. You're like, all right, you know what?
But
I'm good.
With that, it's more so, it's like, okay, I want something that tastes good with a meal that I'm putting some money into versus hey, I'm gonna get trashed.
Yeah, if it's I'm gonna get trashed on beer, cheap beer, but
I'll buy a few good beers, get a nice buzz going on, and then like I had those honey. Have you ever had a honey brown?
I don't think so.
It-
But you have some in the fridge, right? That's what's in the fridge.
That is not what's in the fridge.
Oh.
So it's in so the honey brown. What's in it's a honey beer. It's a honey wheat, which is it's actually pretty good. But those honey browns, I swear, it's been this way for years. A 99-cent 24-ounce, and usually beer that cheap, I really like refuse. I'm like, that's gotta be
it's
disgusting.
more like a malt liquor, isn't it?
No, I don't think it's a malt liquor. It's an actual beer because I don't really care for malt liquors. It's really fucking good for what it is. Because sometimes I'll be like, kind of feel like honey brown today, and I'll bring you one. I'll bring you a couple. Like I don't know.
You're up next. So you're up next for hosting.
We do a shit cheap beer. We can do a shit cheap beer, I guess. I mean, like
Yeah.
I can't necessarily say we have to, but
I mean,
it's,
you know, you can.
that can
it
be our
doesn't-
pre-beer.
Hmm?
That can be our pre-beer.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's literally a regular
Yeah.
beer, but it's not a little bit on the sweet side. And I'm like, it's not bad. Like it's just
It's not hams.
no, God, fuck no. But I can't believe it's as cheap as a fucking Hams. It's actually a little bit more expensive than a Natty, because the Hams were. I can't. It was $10 for a 30-pack, $11 for a 30-pack.
Man, what,
Versus 8.
Ariana, we need to go out one of these times, find some damn hams when it's our turn, and then
No.
force her to drink it, and just
Well,
to watch
you
her
can get
review
it
that
somewhere.
shit.
Mystery beer.
I'd
Yeah.
be like, what the fuck? I'd be like vomiting all over myself.
Just to, you know what I'm saying? Just so you have to do it.
You know,
This shit is good.
it is
I really
good.
like this.
It is
Yeah,
so good.
like I said, it's what made me start drinking craft on a regular basis.
Ooh, we got Uno Tweak. I saw this and I wanted to see who it was. Thank you, Uno Tweak, for subscribing.
Nice.
I don't know who Uno Tweak is.
He's a tweaker who likes Uno.
Oh, I subscribed. I didn't mean to subscribe. I mean, I
Yeah.
probably still subscribe. I'm trying to figure out. I want to get to your channel.
So
All your videos. You have no videos?
he's
I'll
just,
still subscribe. I'll be your friend.
you're the bestest. We love you.
They just don't have their channel private.
See, you died.
Does that mean
That's
yeah.
oh.
fucking
Yep.
cunt.
See, you died. So you're gonna die soon.
We have Uno Tweak, and they subscribe to us. I appreciate you, Uno Tweak. I want to know who Uno Tweak is.
That's cool, man.
We
That's
got
cool,
a
we're getting
subscriber
subscribers.
as we are recording. I
Well,
love it.
Yeah.
One
and
of
we're
these
getting
days when we
better,
get
so
one of
We
these
are.
days when we
That's
get
what
better a
we'll
little
do.
bit
I don't
more
know.
technical at this shit. We should try a live one.
maybe someday I'll
Yes.
actually be able to host better.
I think you're doing an alright job.
You're doing a fine job.
Keep up the good job, Ariana.
Well, the last
Proud of
time
you.
I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Here's the beer.
You know, it doesn't
Why
matter
don't you
though.
introduce us? Okay.
doesn't matter,
That's
though.
fun. That's
True.
absolutely fun.
We
This
are
is
here.
kind of who I am, so.
We're here for the fun of it.
That's, that's I like the who I am thing. I don't know if I don't know if I think I made a TikTok about it, but I'll go back over this the who I am thing. There for a
Miss it.
while. Yes, sir. Did I die?
You died.
So
Yeah, one button's mute, one's power. I don't know which is which.
anyway.
But yeah, we'll do a live someday, and Ariana will be like, "Oh, I'm doing so terrible," and she'll be like the best out of all of us.
Probably.
No. So anyway, no. But the who I am. I had a so going to work. There for a while, I was going straight from my department to my job. So I was always a little late to my job, but they knew why I was late. But they kind of like made jokes and gave me shit about it. And then there was one day where he, I don't know, they called me and asked me if I wanted to pick up like a shift. And then I was like, I can't remember if I picked up a random shift that was at noon, or if this was the day that I was out running around and I had to go home. I think I was out running around. I was like, well, I gotta go home and get a shower, because I think I might have been working out or something. I was like, I gotta go home and get a shower, and then I'll be here. And I told him what time I would be there. And I accidentally left the lights on in my car, and then like the battery was dead. I was like, fuck. And so I texted him. I was like, No, I don't even think. No, that wasn't that day. That day in particular, I was like, dude, I left my lights on when I was taking a shower and the fucking lights died. I think I just had a poor battery in the car.
She just took like the nice sip of that, and looking at her eyes, she's getting kind of a little fuzzy-eyed going on.
It's delicious.
She's getting a little fuzzy-eyed going on. She's just like,
that's like one of those.
She kind of licked her lips,
good.
just going, man, I feel fucking good.
Yeah, I'm just trying to savor the flavor.
It is. It's like that's one of those. That's why it's like something good.
Anyway, sorry to interrupt you. Just the expression there on his face was like, yeah.
Hell yeah, but no. So the one day. It was, I think I just picked up a noon shift and that's what it was. So I was like, sweet, I got all this time in the world to do shit before I had to go to work. So I'm doing all this shit and I'm like, I'm gonna be late. And so I was like, fuck. So I texted my boss, I was like, hey man, just to let you know I'm gonna be a little late. It's not like traffic or anything, it's just who I am as a person.
I love that.
Wow.
They're just like, well, come in when you can. Like, it's like, we don't have anybody else who wants to come in. We can't drop this truck.
I feel like the older I get, the more I'm just like, this is who I am.
It's just who I am. You don't even give a fuck. Like, I love, like, I'm hardly ever late to work, but a lot of people are like, oh, I can't fucking stand it. It ruins their whole day. I love running late because I'm like, well, fuck it.
It gets your blood pumping, and then you're like, oh my god, I gotta go, and then you have all this fucking energy because you're running late. That's why I like it.
That's not even how I. No, it's cool. No, but that's not even how I am.
So you guys clock in and clock out, right?
We don't have a time clock.
I do.
Okay. So where I work, with the IT thing, I don't clock in and clock out. I submit my hours on a website at the end of the week or what have you, and that's it.
So like, fuck, I was fairly on time. I left fairly on time.
I hate to say it, but yeah, but it's.
They're gonna get fired.
No.
They're like, what is this shit?
The trade-off is that I'm on call 24/7.
Right. No.
But you know, I haven't clocked in and clocked out of anywhere in like 6-7 years now. And it's like, oh my god, I'm late. Holy shit. Yo, dude, I'm running behind. I'll get there and like eventually. Okay, what the fuck ever. You need to stay over that much time. Okay.
No, so see, for me, there was one time that like I had been running late, and I used to hate running late, but I was like always running late. But I would always make it to work on time. But it's just the thing of rushing around; it's all stressful and shit. So there was one day they called me. They're like, "Hey," I picked up a lot of extra shifts, and I picked them up like really far in advance. And so that one day that they called me, they're like, "Hey, you know, you picked up this shift. Like, when are you gonna be here?" I was like, "Oh, I fucking forgot," you know. And I was like, shit, let me see. I was like, you know, I had to get my kids dropped off at my mom's house. I was like, hey. And she's like, yeah, I can watch them. But she'd already agreed to, I'm sure, if I picked up that day. So I was like, I can be there in, you know, like an hour and a half. And I was going to be like a couple hours late. And they really didn't care because they just knew that I picked up so many shifts. It was just, you know, an accident. It's like they didn't want to punish me for doing them a favor. So I was like, well, fuck it, you know, I'm just going to get my kids ready and just like, you know, mosey on to my mom's house. And I was like, fuck it.
You're already late.
Well, I'm not going to get fired. They're thanking me for picking up that shift even though I am late. I'm not getting pointed for it at all. And I was like, fuck it, man. You know, I went to the gas station. I fucking put it around, wasted time. Like, got my coffee, went and got some McDonald's. Anytime I'm running late anymore, I'm like, I just take it. I was like, this is a good day. You know, because for me, like, I showed up late to work. I was like, how could it not get any better? I didn't have to do the truck check off. I showed up, like, my partner did everything. I'm like, I don't have to do a fucking thing. You did it all. Yeah. I'm like, this is the greatest day ever. I should be late more often, just not enough to get fired. So, you know, anytime I'm running late, I'm like, well, fuck it. I'm going to be late. And, you know, it's like, well, get here as soon as possible. We already got a run stack for you. It's like, okay, whatever. Stop at McDonald's, someplace to eat. I don't give a shit. Fuck
I'm
it.
kind of notorious for being one of the last people on the line.
Now,
That's how I used to be when I worked factory. I would literally, it took me 30 minutes to get to work. I left 30 minutes before I got to work. I mean, sometimes I would be parking right up beside the door, running to the time clock and hurry up and clock it in, and then going back and parking just so I wouldn't be late.
Shortly after high school graduation, one of the first like real adult jobs I had, I worked at this factory called Neaton. And I was a fucking temporary. They never hired anybody unless you just sucked the right dick, literally. And they had this thing where, you know, as a temporary, you got paid, it was like $7.50 an hour. But if you showed up for all of your shifts and you were on time every time, you got a $2 an hour shift bonus. But if you're even 1 minute fucking late, they would ding you not only, you know, for that hour for being late, they would take away that whole $2 an hour across the whole week.
A week?
Yeah, that whole
That's a
week. So
pisser.
it's not that I missed that hour's worth of pay. It's
You missed
I
$80 that week.
I
And if
missed.
you were on overtime, it would have been a lot more.
Yeah, and it was a fucking ridiculous system that got me into like this sense of like this absolute militaristic OCD about being on time. I still get that twinge sometimes, even though I don't have to clock in and clock out.
What about your being the last one on the line? You were
I'm
gonna
sorry
say
to interrupt you.
something.
I have no idea.
She forgot.
She's the last one on the line. She's all like, I'm sneaking in right behind the guys. Like, I was here the whole time. I heard all the announcements.
Now I have like everything timed out. I'm like, okay, I gotta be at this stop sign by this time. And like,
I do the same thing.
yeah, like I'm like, okay, I eat my breakfast, and then I'm like, okay, I have to be like getting ready for work by like 5:13, and then like I go, if I'm like running 2 minutes late, I'm like, oh fuck, I'm running 2 minutes late, and then it's like I gotta be at this stop sign by this time, which is usually like 5:42, and and then like so it's like if I hit that 5:42, but there's a train that goes through the town
fuck.
that I work at, so every once in a while I'll hit that fucking train, and it'll be coming through like 10 minutes before I have to be there or something, and you're sitting there for 5 minutes and you're like, fuck, it's like I still have like a 3-minute drive to get there or whatever, and I always park the furthest away. Even if I'm late, I'm like, I'll park the furthest away. I'm like, just fuck it, whatever.
Who cares? I'm late now.
I'm trying to get my steps in. Look at my fat ass. No.
I
I park right by the door and I walk like 20 feet, maybe 30 to my desk.
I think it's just a pain in the ass to drive around the parking lot and look for a spot, so I just park.
because nobody else wants to park out there.
Yeah, like,
That makes sense.
That's funny. No, I had I was similar, and with that, like, I had to be certain places by this time. But when I was real reckless and like fucking always in a hurry, I found out that instead of speeding everywhere you go, like, you're like going super fast and you're like hitting your brakes and you gotta make it to this stop sign. Like, because of living in the country, and I worked third shift too. So, if anybody was coming, you could see the headlights and shit. So I would just drive the speed limit, and then I would be like, oh, nobody's coming, sweet. So I just run each stop sign, because it's faster. It's faster, and I feel like
You don't have that slow down, speed up. It's a constant speed.
it's safer, and you're less likely to get caught by the cops. And here's why: you're going 70 for 30 miles. That's 30 miles that you're like endangering yourself and somebody else, or that's 30 miles that you're like, going super fast and like those cops might get you. But if you're going those whole 30 miles and there's like 4 stop signs on the way to work, that's like only 4 small chances that you might get pulled over or you might get into an accident versus that whole 30 miles. I'm like, I was sold on that running stop sign thing for a while.
That is a hell of a calculated risk there. It makes sense, but that is a hell of a calculated risk.
I was like, man, let's do this. I was
especially if they're 4-way stops. I mean,
right, exactly. That was a lot of them too. And I was like,
4-way stops.
I was
California rolling stop.
I may have been running late and shit, but I wasn't
Dude.
speeding. I wasn't being reckless. I was just running a few stop signs. It's cool. Like,
I only killed a few pedestrians.
She said the California rolling stop, and you just brought up a memory.
Uh-oh.
So, back when I was a teenager, we would like watch that 70s show. We would pick up Taco Bell and watch that 70s show. Like, I can't even remember what day it was now, but like, we would get
day of the
yeah,
week.
we would like get high on the way to Taco Bell, and then we would go pick up Taco Bell, and then we would come back and eat Taco Bell and watch that 70s show. So we were like, it was me and my ex-boyfriend at the time, and I think my brother.
Just picture the situation. Like, all those dudes were like just long hair, hippie, burnout looking motherfuckers.
We were like all in this van together, and we're like we like just get out of town, and we light up a joint, and we're like driving, and we like hit this 4-way stop, and he like rolls through it. He like it's kind of like he basically stopped, and like the cop was, like,
basically stop. I mean, what
cop was
are
coming,
you
he's like motherfucker, and we get pulled over, and we're like, oh fuck, because we're like obviously like we're clam baking it. We have all the windows up and everything, and this cop, we stop, and this cop comes up, and like they all do this now. They come up to the passenger side, and I have never seen them do this before that. Like they would always come up to the driver's side then. But he luckily comes up to the passenger side. We roll all the windows down, and you can just see all this fucking smoke billowing out the driver's side, and the cop's standing right here.
I got an electrical problem inside my car, man.
This is back when I smoked cigarettes, so I light up a cigarette to kind of cover up the smell, which it probably does.
I think it makes it worse.
I have no idea.
That is a very stoner thought.
To me, it has always made it worse.
That is
like,
an absolutely stoner thought.
But he probably just didn't want to deal with the paperwork. There is no fucking way that he didn't know what we were doing. We're like, I'm probably like, I don't know, 18 maybe, and my brothers are like 16 or something. But like,
that's a lot of work.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, minors, you guys don't do this. More than likely, if it's like about that time, I feel like that'd be shift change time. That was his last one of the shift. He probably didn't even want to pull you guys over for us. I was like, God damn it.
He was just ended up giving us a warning. He was like, just slow it down.
You gotta think, like we're all young, you're like, oh shit, the cops, they want to bust everybody, they're gonna fuck everybody. You gotta think cops get just as lazy as anybody else about their job. They're like, God damn it, it's fucking Friday. They're like, God damn it, it's fucking Friday. I'm off this weekend, first weekend. They've let me be off in a long time. And these stupid ass fucking kids run that goddamn stop sign. Now I'm gonna have to spend up. They're fucking smoking. We have to do like 3 fucking hours of paperwork for this. I'm gonna have to fucking drag them in, fingerprint them, call their goddamn parents.
No, you don't have to do all that shit.
I'm gonna deal with their fucking pissed off parents. No, fuck it.
There's a lot of shit you do have to do. I've thought about being a cop. And I was like, man, I would be that cop though. Like, I'm at the point, because firefighter, EMT, I was like, well, fuck, I always have that, and I'd probably be pulling those shifts as well. So I'd pull my one, 12-hour cop shift, and I would probably be really cool. Like, I'd come up, and if they were doing, kids doing something stupid, I'd, scream, yell, and scare them. I'd be like, no, I'm just kidding. High five today, woo! I would let them go, all the time. You've been here 3 months, and you haven't written any tickets. I'm like, oh, what's going on? Everybody's, driving really good around me.
Just thinking, Super Troopers, the cat meow thing.
That was the best part of that movie.
Yeah.
I was like, I would do shit like that, or I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna have to confiscate your weed. You just take it. Yeah, that's what we do. You
just confiscate your weed. Take it, sit in the car. Fucking stupid kids.
I would just
Did you pull anybody over? Yeah, man. These fucking kids, man. I can let them off with a warning. You know what? I should have fucking busted this weed. It's fucking terrible.
I should have busted this weed instead. I don't really smoke pot because that shit gives me panic attacks regardless. But I feel like I would just be doing stupid shit. No, it's really cool, man. Just please don't be doing that. My kids are out on the road driving too. I would be really upset. If you hit them, I would really fuck you up. But, since you really didn't hurt anyone, I would get fired. I would not be able, but.
My problem is with being cops, kids like that would be cool, but it's all the assholes, man. Fuck you, you're a fucking pig. Okay, dude. Chill the fuck out. Just stop driving like an asshole.
People really aren't too bad to cops, I feel like. I've been on what I love this. So I've been on these, whenever the cops tase somebody, they call us to go on scene.
Tase them crazy, tase them in the nuts.
We have to remove the barbs. Well, the first time when we had it, I was me and my partner were trying to fish it out, and it's like a little arrow it's got their point, it comes back. So we're trying to fish it out. We're just no. So I'm let's give it a try. You gotta jerk that out. You gotta yank it out. There's no. So it's literally
a fishing hook.
Yes, but so it's like an arrow. So it goes in at a point, and it has the two pieces that come out, but it's not a triangular arrow. It's just got 2 points, so it is essentially 2 hook sides that it goes in, and you can't just pull it out. You're ripping skin as it's coming out, and so that's.
You can picture exactly what you're talking about.
They're not big, and they don't need stitches. They're not injured.
Well, I'm pretty sure if you're the taser companies are probably number one. They're thinking about. Okay, we've got to penetrate this shit, and if they're getting tased, they probably deserve it, so let's give them something to remind them after the fact.
And the thing of it is, I would love to show up on scene.
What?
This is going to go.
So, Ariana's not taking her headset with her to go to the bathroom.
That's upsetting.
That is very upsetting because we could hear all sorts of lovely sounds from her in the little girl's room.
I've got to finish the story. I don't have anything else to say other than too bad you didn't have more of those dragon's milks. I would have rather had drank some of those.
There's one more bottle at the house.
Oh, it's a house. Fuck your house. I hope your house burns down. Fuck it.
But then the dragon's milk would be destroyed.
I just get some more somewhere else. This
Got
doesn't
one
serve me
bitch.
any purpose at your house regardless. And I gotta go to work tomorrow, so it's not like you would go out there tonight and bring
Restart
it
your
in.
shit, because my shit sucks.
Restarting the shit.
It's like all within about 15-20 minute cycle of each
There
other.
we go.
Anyway, you're gonna burn my goddamn house down and go get some more dragon's milk because I didn't bring any more.
Yeah, probably. I'm waiting on her to get back. I have to tell my taser story.
Huh. Well, while we're waiting for her, I'm just gonna make a note. Probably cut out a few minutes here while we wait for her to go tinkle because nobody wants to hear dead air time about tinkling. But in the meantime, this is the sound of Ariana taking a pee. Oh, my name's Ariana. I've drank too much beer. I need to go pee. The girl, I'm being all cute about it. Oh my God. Oh, this feels so good.
You think she would be the one with kids?
And then, like, you know, just
yeah,
insert
because you're
water
like,
running noises.
I don't know. It's like people are like, oh, you gotta hold it and you can't break the seal or you have to keep going. Like for me, I don't have to pee. I can drink like a whole lot. If I pee, I just drink a whole lot again. Like it doesn't bother me.
I also drank coffee before you guys got here, though.
I drank a bunch of water today, but I worked
So
out,
you
so I
went peeing
sweated
it?
it all out. There you go.
So you're somebody who's gonna tell a story about tasing crazy
Tasers.
shit.
So anyway, I've showed up at plenty of scenes where the cops have tased people, and it's always funny. One of my favorites was this kid. He literally just turned 21. He was celebrating his 21st birthday. He was so trashed. He goes, I really didn't know what I was doing. He goes, I thought I was at my house. He was just like wrong street, wrong house, wrong everything. He couldn't get into the house that he thought was his, so he busted the window. He was like trying to get the lock and shit, and the lady like freaked out.
Yeah.
He wasn't trying to hurt anyone. He wasn't gonna rob anyone. He's like, I am just too fucking drunk. He goes, I don't know what I'm doing. And so like when I went to pull it out, he's like, it's probably gonna hurt us, and I'm like, yeah, you know. And I pull it out, and I think he's so drunk it probably didn't hurt. But what I asked, those cops didn't give a shit, and people aren't gonna overreact and be bad because there's plenty of people there to fucking protect me. And so I'd be, oh no, it's not gonna hurt. I fucking lied to him. I didn't give a shit. No, it doesn't hurt. You barely feel a thing. Like, all right, at the count of 3, 1, 2.
Man, you're talking about that shit. I still remember one of those fucking parties I went to with the Hastings kids. One of the guys at the party, I don't even remember what the hell his name was. I could kind of remember his face. I just remember that, like, it was the middle of the night. Everybody got pass out drunk, and he, like, woke up and was like, I gotta piss, and just turned around and just pissed all over Amanda's couch. He was just
I've
like
heard so many
pissing all
stories
over.
of people doing that shit.
He's just like all over her couch. Like, didn't he? He's like, I thought I was peeing in the toilet. How fucked up are you to confuse a couch with a toilet, man?
A good friend of mine, and you know who it is. You both know who it is. But so he lived at this apartment that had stairs that went down here, and you turn around, there's a door and had stairs that go down here. You live there.
Okay, I know.
She's like, I definitely know what you're talking about. What the fuck?
I was like, I think I know what you're talking about, and then you're like, you live there. I'm like, I do know what you're talking about.
So dude got so drunk, he was he lived with his buddies at this point. The one buddy, he was sitting on the couch, he's like, hey man, watch this. And he opens the one door and he's standing here, and then he's just like, looks at him and like makes face, and the one dude was like, that's a pretty cool trick, how you doing that? And he just stood there, like, it was basically heard, it sounded like water pouring down the stairs. He's like, alright. He walks over, he's pissing all down the stairs.
Fucking waterfall shit.
That poor fucking neighbor down there.
I'm just looking at Ariana's stairs across the room where we're sitting. I'm going, just picturing like a river of urine running down it right now.
I love the dude.
And then Ariana be like, I fucking would, you fucking asshole. Put a coaster on it.
He doesn't do shit like this anymore because he's responsible. But I think it was just like one of those things like you're the type of person that just likes to goof off and show off. So then when you're drunk, you're doing stupid shit and you don't know what the fuck you're doing. I wasn't there for this one, but I heard about it. So he was standing beside his sink. He's like, hey guys, watch this. And just starts chugging the soap, the dish soap, and just throws up.
That sounds like something he would do for sure.
just
So yeah, that poor neighbor that lived underneath of us, like we had a pool table and it was like constantly like pool balls hitting the floor and just like, like, cause we were like, what, 19, 20 years old and just acting like fucking morons all the fucking time.
How much rent did you pay?
Huh?
It was probably super cheap too.
Rent was probably like $450. I think it was $415.
Wow.
That's not bad at all.
And so were the people below old folks, young folks? What were they?
The guy downstairs, it was just a single dude, and he stayed at his girlfriend's house quite a bit, and I'm sure he probably stayed at his girlfriend's house.
Get the fuck away from you guys.
So fucking loud.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Because we were up all night, all the time. We had parties like every weekend, and yeah, so like there was always multiple people. But you guys were talking about, I'll tell you my most embarrassing drunk story.
Uh-oh.
You're embarrassing what story?
Drunks. Well, one of my most embarrassing
drug.
drunk
I was
stories. You talked about somebody pissing on the couch, right?
Yeah.
So one time, like, when a boyfriend I lived with, I was like blackout drunk. Like, we would go out drinking all the time. I was about blackout drunk. And I got up and I went to the bathroom.
Uh-oh. Did you pee in your car?
No, I peed in a drawer of pictures.
So like your drunk booze-addled brain was like, that drawer, that's a toilet.
Dude, it was the toilet in my brain, and then like, but I vaguely like remembered that it wasn't the toilet, and like the next day I woke up and like I was awake for a while, you know, and I'm like,
did I pee in there?
I'm like, did that happen? And then I open it up and I'm like, fuck, that happened. And I never said anything to that guy.
Just close it and move on. He probably deserved it.
Piss on
He
these
did.
memories, man.
Fucking
Piss
did.
on them.
I've never been that bad blackout drunk.
That's the only
I mean,
time
I've
that's
been
ever
blackout drunk, and I know I've said stupid shit, but I've never done anything like that. And fuck, so I was gonna say something that I had done. I don't remember. No, I
I already said my like blackout drunk stories with the black guy.
the party.
Yeah, no.
So that same guy that you lived with, the one that I was telling about.
My ex-boyfriend.
Right. The story that I heard, what he had done, one of the last ones I heard he had done, but he came home from a party, and I get like just from his events of the night, the wife or the girlfriend at the time, she walked in to the room and she's like, she saw a big wet spot here and then like a towel here.
Well, that's like
It's on the floor.
that's not an A for effort, but it's like a solid B for thinking about it.
And then she said she found him without a shirt and face down in a bowl of cereal.
Sounds about right.
So
I
we
can't
have.
remember what I was gonna say about mine. Like, I've done stupid stuff, but not really like
There's
nothing like that. Like oh no, now I remember. I went to the Brew in the Oregon district.
I've never been to that.
I think it blows anymore. It's really not that great. But I went there with Larry the one time, and like I was drinking Long Island iced teas, and I thought I could handle my Long Island iced teas. Apparently I couldn't. You know, I think I had like 5 or 6 of them. Like it was like bad. And I remember it is a lot.
Yeah.
And I remember running into our friend Erica, and I hadn't seen her in years, you know. And I was like, hey, you know, she's hugging me, trying to hold me at the bar, like, come drink with me. And I'm like, yeah. And Larry's like, no. He's dragging me out. Like he said, he was dragging me all around like fucking Oregon District and shit. We get back to the car, and he's like he's trying to get us back home. He has no idea where he is, how to get home. I'm like, yeah, I do. I don't know if I just passed out. He didn't wake me up. We stopped at this gas station. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like at this BP. I didn't know where we were. But I knew we were in the ghetto because like it was closed. They had the bars over the window and shit. And I'm like, I'm drunk as fuck, stumbling up to the window, holding myself. I'm like, I gotta pee. And dude let me in. Like I'm shocked he let me in to use the restroom. And so we go to, I remember we went to Myers and I bought like a pound of hamburger and some hamburger helper. And I was like so starved, you know, and like we were at